Hello everybody and welcome back. This is day 2. So yesterday we finished Acts 1 through 5 and we also got, let's see here, 4 out of the 40 challenges complete. We're about to start Act 6 now, but before we do that there's a couple things we got to do. So I'm going to go to my hideout over here and then open up my character sheet and look at resistances. Alright, before we leave the town, you gotta make sure that all of your resistances are capped, because we just got a minus 30% to all resistances penalty for killing Katava. So let's see here. I need some fire resist somewhere. See if there's any gear pieces that can accommodate another suffix. It looks like these boots have an open suffix, so I'm gonna put them here. And we'll use the Orb of Alchemy one since we need a larger fire resist number this time. There we go. And we are now res capped. The next thing that we gotta do, let's go unlock Lily Roth. So back to the title, or Twilight Strand we go, and here it's just a kill all quest, and then you'll unlock a vendor that sells you one of every gem. Alright, looks like we forgot a mob over here. We'll just kill him real quick. And there's quest complete. Back to town we go. We will talk to Lily Roth.
While you be skulking about.
And now we have a universal gem vendor unlocked. Okay, you can also invite Lily Roth to your hideout. Or maybe she's already there when you go there. Let's see. Yeah, there she is. Take her and put her over here. We can delete Helena, we don't need her. There we go. Now let's go back to town. One last thing I would recommend for you to do is to look out for amethyst rings. Those are going to have chaos resistance on them as an implicit. You can see here that our chaos resist is minus 30. So we're going to try to switch from elemental resist rings to amethyst rings and then get some good mods on them. And with that said, let's go into the coast and I'll see you at the next quest objective. Okay, looks like we found our first abyss. This is a mechanic you'll start seeing in Act 6, which is, well, we're in Act 6 now. Just run into it, and it's going to start a little propagating crack. Follow the crack, kill the monsters that come out of the crack, and if you can keep up with it, you will get a reward chest at the end of it. It's really that simple. Okay, this one happened to lead us right towards the next waypoint, which is awesome. Let's open the chest. And we got a unique. How cool is that? You'll also find hypnotic eye jewels or abyss-specific jewels here. These go into your passive trees, or later on, you'll find gear with abyssal sockets on them. You can put these on those gear items as well. And it looks like we found the next tier of King's March resources. So this is the Bismuth deposit. This one doesn't have you fight anything. You click on it, and then it's going to add a couple of reward and difficulty modifiers to the monsters in your map. It also has this really cool effect. GGG, please make this a purchasable microtransaction for our maps. If you are watching, this looks really cool. And Tukohama is dead. Now we're going to unlock our Pantheons, so let's wait for the RP to play out here.
The soil wants for your blood no more.
And if you talk to Sin, you will unlock the Pantheon system. For killing Tukohama, we get one Pantheon unlocked. You can have one minor, so the little smaller bubble here, and you can have one major, which we will unlock later. So right now, it doesn't really matter what you take, just take something, because something is better than nothing. What else is there to do? We have a couple of skill points to spend. Let's do this super quick. So we wrapped up last time here in Righteous Decree. Now we're going to go up over here and start taking Curse and Chaos Resist, and then take Asylum. Alright, we need some Chaos Resist from our passives, since we don't have much of it from our gear. Okay, we're now in the lower prison, and just like last time, we have two things to do here. First is to find the Trial of Ascendancy, now that we're in the Cruel difficulty. We have a new set of trials to do. This time it's only 3, so let's go ahead and find that. Do this super quick. And here is the Trial of Ascendancy plaque. Let's click on it. You'll see that we have 2 more to find in the next few acts. And then we can do the next labyrinth and get a couple more points to spend on our Hierophant Ascendancy. Alright, I'll see you guys at the next boss fight. It looks like we ran into the heist mechanic. This one is another thing kind of like Delve. It doesn't really do much in the maps or the campaign when you see it. But if you open this, you'll get some rogues markers as well as a contract. And I guess I might as well demonstrate. Go to town, and then click on the rogue marker as you would a portal. And this is going to take you to the rogue harbor, and this is the heist alternative endgame. Right, so very much like Delve and Nico in the Azurite Mines. You'll see that this is its own little town with its own NPCs, and this is its own little alternative endgame to mapping. You also have the Heist Locker here, so I would recommend clicking on it, and then clicking Heist Locker Affinity. And now, from your stash, anytime you get rogue markers or contracts, you can deposit it into the stash, it'll automatically go into the Heist Locker. Alright, this one's a level 47 heist. We don't really need that. I'm gonna maybe keep an eye out for higher level ones later on. Let's go back to Act... this is the wrong act. Let's go back to Act 6, and then I'll see you at Brutus. Okay, Brutus and Chavron is dead. Let's go into the Warden's Chamber here, get this crafting recipe, and then go to the Prisoner's Gate. So I think if we go back to town, we should have some quest rewards. I don't remember what they are. Let's go find out. I'll talk to the NPCs here. Turkley. Okay, so a Book of Skill. Very nice. And a helmet. So let's see if we can get one that is armor and energy shield, like this one should do. And let's see how good this is. It's got mana, which is nice, but the sockets are all wrong. So I'm going to toss a few chromatics on it, see if we can get an upgrade for my hat over there. No, no, no. Oh, and we got one. Nice. Put it on, move the sockets over. And let's see what Bestel wants. Bestel has nothing for us. Alright, so back into the Prisoner's Gate we go. We have a couple of side quests to do, which will give us passive skill points. I will see you there. Alright, Aberath is dead. This is going to give us a passive skill point. It's also going to unlock a new Pantheon, Minor Pantheon, I believe. And like I said, it doesn't really matter what Pantheon you pick this point into the game. So just, you know, pick Tukohama, pick Aberath, it's really up to you. Let's go back to town, get our skill point, and there's a minor gear upgrade for us to make. So let's talk to Bestel over here, get this with the skill. And I believe... Alright, so we have this wand over here, and this wand over here. I'm gonna clear my inventory super quick. It's a bunch of crap. Okay, so let's look at our wands. So this one is just some fire damage on it, and it's got the sockets, that's why we're using it. So I found a good replacement for that. That is this Torment Edge Engraved Wand. It's got spell damage, and it's got 105 mana, which is huge. Right, it also has a open suffix. We can slam a resists on that with a crafting bench. So I will put this on, and then put on, or transfer these gems. And then this is the wand we had saved from the previous video. We didn't have the socket requirement to put this on. I think we should have an orb of fusing now. Let's go ahead and fuse it. And that's also one of our challenges partially completed. And I'll get a red socket on it and move this over. So this wand just has better spell damage, and it has an open prefix. Maybe we can put some more damage on it. So whenever you change your gear, make sure to check your resistances. We are still above 75%, so we are fine. I'll vendor the old ones. And we can go to the crafting bench and see if we can add even more damage to the ones we just got. So let's see. Take this. Alright, this one we can put mana on it for 3 augmentations. Very nice. And this one we can put stats, resists, cast speed. Cast speed's a really good one. I don't want to spend 6... Oh, I only... Ugh. Okay, we will spend 6 alterations on cast speed. Where is it? There it is. Bam. Alright. And now we should be that much stronger for the road ahead. Let's keep going. I'll see you at the next quest. Okay, and there is Rislatha dead. I believe this is another minor pantheon. Let's go to town and find out. It is. Very cool. Alright, let's go talk to Tarkley. He's going to give us a passive skill point book. And we have a couple of points to spend. So let's finish up Asylum over here, get more Chaos Resist. Then we're going to take Protection Mastery and get Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you. Right, Corrupted Blood is a very annoying debuff that monsters apply. It does physical damage over time, and this build has very little resistance to physical damage. Or armor, physical damage reduction, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you grab that, and then we're going to go up over here, take these intelligence points, and then start working on cast speed, right? We want to get mental rapidity, right? Because this build relies a lot on cast speed, and it's about time we got some. Alright, with that done, the only thing left for Act 6 is the final boss, so I will see you in a couple of minutes at the final boss. Okay, a little bit of a quick intermission. So here is the first time we're seeing the expedition mechanic. Alright, this is Gwenin. She's going to spawn around a little dig site. And you're going to see a bunch of little markers in this area. So these are called remnants. Remnants have a positive to rewards and a negative which buffs the monsters that, come out of this dig site. What you do is you go to the middle here, and then you have some explosives that you can place to trigger the remnants. Alright, you want to make a chain of explosives, so let's go ahead and take this one. We can take this one. Notice that sometimes the remnants have immunities. Alright, so make sure you are not tagging anything that has immunities to your build. We don't have cold damage, we don't have chaos damage, so we are just fine. And we have one more. I can't quite tag this one yet, and if that happens, you can always undo the placements and see if you can do a different orientation where you can get more of these tagged. Get this, we'll get this, and now we have all four. Right at the bottom right, you can see the list of all the remnants you have tagged. So this one will have immunity to cold, chaos, ailment avoidance, more rare monsters, and then the loot will be increased quantity, increased rarity, etc., etc. And you click detonate, and then you get ready for the fight of your life, because these guys hit like trucks. And as you kill them, they will drop some loot, and you'll also get the excavated chests here for you to loot. So open them up, and you'll get some artifacts that are automatically looted to your character. Right, they won't show up in your inventory, and you'll get these itemized reroll currencies. And go ahead and pick it up. Alright, and this can be used with the expedition vendor, in this case Gwenin, to reroll their inventories, and then you can interact with the inventories with the artifacts that you got from the mechanic. Alright, and unlike Ritual, these artifacts do persist in different maps, so you can accumulate them over expeditions, over several maps, and then you can just sit in town and refresh the inventory and interact with the vendor that way. Now, Gwenin kind of sucks. She lets you gamba for items. They're just unidentified base items. She's really not that great. But there are some other NPCs for Expedition, like Tujin and Danig and Rog. Those guys are really good and have end game significance. Okay, Rog helps you craft items. Tujin is basically, his inventory is all currency and currency related items. That's a great way to get Chaos Orbs in the beginning of a league. And Danig will give you logbooks as well as let you exchange your artifacts. Okay, we are now at the final boss. There's a little bit of an RP as the start, so it's a good time to check your passive skill tree, spend your points. Let's get Mental Rapidity, and here you'll get Caster Mastery. Spells which can gain intensity have +1 to maximum intensity, and that's going to help us because we're using the Intensify support gem. Now we can go to 4 intensity stacks. Alright, just like last time, I'm going to try and fight the boss without moving here. And we've even got the Bismuth Tornadoes. Oh my goodness. And we did it. Let's see if we can tank this tornado. Oh yeah. So that's Act 6 complete. We're gonna wait for the RP to finish here with Sin. Our slash played is 5 hours 8 minutes. And for killing whatever this boss's name is, we got Soul of the Brine King. Alright, go ahead and pick that up as your first major Pantheon. We already have stun immunity, so it's not gonna help us. But we will get one of these when we get further into the campaign. So I'm going to go take a break, and I will see you guys shortly. Alright, I'm back after the break. We are now in Act 7. Let's get this started. I think our first stop is the Crypt level 1, so I will see you there. Okay, so a little bit of an intermission here. We've come across Alva. This is the incursion mechanic. If you talk to her and you click View Temple, you'll see this little layout. So the entrance is always guaranteed, the apex is the boss fight, that's always guaranteed, and in between you're going to see these rooms. These are randomized, they might have numbers attached to them. These ones don't, they're tierless. This is tier 1 rooms, and you might see tier 2 and tier 3 rooms here as well. Alright, the goal of this mechanic is to build yourself the temple. You do this through incursions, so our first incursion is sending us to the cloister. Alright, in the incursion, your goal is to connect the room you're in to a different room. And you also have the option of either upgrading the reward room that you're in, or swapping it to a different reward type entirely. So let's go in and see what incursion looks like. We're being sent to the cloister. Alright, here's the unique mob that we need to kill to swap rooms, and the Stone of Passage is what we use to connect the rooms together. So if I take the Stone of Passage and I run it over, I can connect it to the pits. Let's do that super quick. And now, when I get out of the incursion, these two rooms will be connected. It is a timed mechanic. The more monsters you kill inside of it, the longer time you get to spend inside of it. And I did make an entire video on how to make money with this mechanic in white tier maps. So consider checking that out if you want a better explanation of what incursion is and how you can use it at this point in the league to make mad bank. Aside from that, we are not going to be doing incursions in the campaign. We might revisit it during maps, maybe to make money, or there might be some challenges associated with Alva and the incursion mechanic. I can't quite remember, but we will sort that out. Feel free to do your incursions as you do the campaign though, and of course, like I said, check out that video I made if you want some easy money when you get to white maps using incursion. We're now in the Crypt level 1. Here our goal is to get a quest item, and we're also having to solve a Trial of Ascendancy. So let's go get the Trial of Ascendancy first. Alright, here is the Trial of Ascendancy. This one should be pretty straightforward. Oh, what the heck is that? Ah. Okay, some sort of unique. I will make some space here and put it in my unique tab for later. Let's get back to the Trial of Ascendancy. And there is our second Trial of Ascendancy for the Cruel difficulty. Alright, let's go find the quest item in here and then get out. Alright, we got our unique amulet too. We'll pick all this up and get our quest item here. So this is Mollygar's map. We now have to go to the Chamber of Sins and then run this map. So I will see you at the Chamber of Sins. Alright, we are now in the Chamber of Sins level 1. Let's go ahead and grab this waypoint, talk to Silk, and open up the map device, and put in Mollygar's map, and we can go do this quest super quick. Alright, we're here at Mollygar's workshop. Put a portal down here just in case you die, and let's see how this fight goes. Pretty breezy, okay? Let's exit Mollygar's Sanctum. We can turn in this quest to Sin. He's going to give us the Obsidian Key. And we're going to use this to find the entrance to the Chamber of Sins level 2. There, we will find the last Trial of Ascendancy for the Cruel difficulty. And then we'll take a short break to do the Cruel Lab. Okay, so it looks like we found the Delirium mechanic. This is a giant mirror. And when you walk through it, it's going to activate the Delirium Fog. The fog expands outward from the mirror, and it gets thicker the further away you get. So for this mechanic, it turns all the monsters in the map into delirious monsters, and then it also adds monsters that spawn from the fog. Right, as you kill these monsters, you are going to generate a loot counter in the bottom left side of your screen. You can see here that we are currently at 3 jewelry and 1 armor for our reward tiers. Now let's see if we can open this strongbox without dying. And the more monsters you kill, the better loot you will get. And if it gets too hard, you can always press the fast forward button in the bottom right side of the screen. I'm going to do that as soon as we hit the next reward tier. Let's see. Alright, there we go. We are 4 and 2. So let's end the delirium. And if you don't end it yourself, it will eventually time out. Looks like we got an amethyst ring and some other jewelry. Let's ID the ring. This is a pretty good ring. What can I swap out for this ring here? Okay, I can swap out the sapphire ring, and I can get this amethyst one instead. Right, so now you can see that our chaos resist is plus 17, and that is going to help keep us alive for a little bit longer. Now, I think I missed the Trial of Ascendancy, so I'm going to backtrack and go get that super quick. And here is the third and final Trial of Ascendancy for the Cruel difficulty. Now we can go do the next quest and then finish up the Cruel Lab to get 2 more Ascendancy points. So I will see you at the next quest. Right, we are here at the next quest, so this is... I don't know his name, Gruthkul? We'll find out. This guy just does a lot of physical damage, applies some nasty bleeds, maybe some corrupted blood, which we have immunity towards now. So just stand still, put down your Sigil of Power, and nuke him. And there we go, we also got a unique item. Very nice. Well, ID. So that was Ralakash, okay. We'll wait for Sin to do his little RP. And then we'll talk to him, and you're actually going to take Soul of Ralakash. So the reason we're taking this Minor Pantheon is because it makes it so we do not take additional damage from bleeds while moving. This is really nice to have. And let's go into the Northern Forest here. And then let's go to the Aspirants Plaza. And now we can do our Cruel Lab. So I'll see you when I kill Azaro. And before you fight the first Azaro, remember to take the crafting recipe to get rank 2 of double resistances for your crafting bench. Alright, we are here with the final Azaro fight. So I'm going to try and stand here and nuke him. We'll put on our Granite Flask. Cast Punishment, and there we go. So yeah, I got a couple treasure keys there. And a few sulfur flasks. So if you leave the mechanics unresolved, you will get extra treasure keys, but it also makes the fight more deadly, so do that at your own risk. What else can we get here? So much crap, oh my goodness. I want to get that 2-stone ring. We'll drop these transmutation shards. Okay, let's open up these chests. Nice. Okay, this is quite a lot of loot, so let's stash some of this stuff real quick. Unique item there. This gloves is also a unique item. Now let's pick up the jewelry. Very nice. Okay, let's go into the Divine Font. Here, we'll try and fish for another Ice Nova or Frostbolts, so Frostblink, in you go. See what we get. We got Blight of Atrophy, Lightning Conduits of the Heavens, and Summon Chaos Golems of the Hordes. So that is an L. We'll take our Frostblink back. And then let's go into the Altar of Ascendancy. And this will give us 2 more points to spend on our Ascendancy tree. Alright, for the Cruel Lab difficulty, we're going to take Mana Regeneration Mana, and then Divine Guidance, which is going to give us 30% increased mana, 10% of damage taken from Mana Before Life. So that's a smaller version of the Mind Over Matter effect, and also something called Transfiguration of Mind. Transfiguration of Mind makes 30% of your increase to mana modifiers apply to your character as damage. So if you have 100% increased mana, you will also have 30% increased damage. And that damage has no conditionals, it applies to any damage your character deals by itself. So that is the Cruel Lab complete. Now, we do have a couple of other passive points to spend here, so might as well go do that super quick. We are going to go get Life, Cruel Preparation, and then, with our next few points, we're going to get Mana and Deep Thoughts. So let's go back to town and keep going forward with Act 7. Okay, so our next quest brings us to the Dread Thicket. Here you're looking for 7 fireflies. They will appear as yellow exclamation marks on your map. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And while doing that, you might also come across the Den of Despair. This is a little side quest where we have to kill Gruthgol, and that will give you a passive skill point for killing her. So she is dead. Let's go back to town and get that passive skill point real quick. There it is. And there was another book of skill that we got from doing the Relicash quest. I forgot to grab that, so let's grab these 2 things. And we can take Meta and Deep Thoughts. Alright, so let's go clear the Dread Thicket and then keep moving forward. Okay, so we just got the Atlas Augmentations Open Strong boxes complete. Let's go see what that is. Okay, so the challenge is right here. Complete any 3 of the following League Mechanic encounters the specified number of times. So we have Strong boxes complete, Shrines is almost done, and Rare Beyond Monsters, I really don't know where that's coming from, but this challenge should just automatically complete itself as you play the game. But it's good to know that it's been progressed on. Alright, we found Yina in the Vol City. Let's go ahead and turn in the Fireflies. She will turn into a Fire Fox. Very nice. And if we go back to town, on the way to the Vol City, you should have also found Kushara's Star. Turn that into Whalem Roth, and he'll give you a Book of Skill. Alright, we are here at Arakali's Web. I do have some passive points to spend. We are level 60. Let's go ahead and spend those points on Intelligence, Arcanist Dominion, and then Mana and Life, and we can spend our next point on Heart and Soul over here. Let's go see how fast we can nuke Arakali. Oh, I don't want to get nuked by her. Alright, there we go. The boss should be phasing. We will refresh Sigil of Power, start precasting to get her intensity stacks up, and then cast Punishment. And she's dead before she can even run around like a little spider. Alright, don't mind me, that was some IRL aggro. So 5 hours, 55 minutes, 32 seconds. And we'll talk to Sin here. We'll get Soul of Arakali, 10% reduced damage taken over time. Let's switch our Pantheon to that, since stun immunity isn't doing anything for us when we have Unwavering Stance. And I will take a quick break and see you guys back when we start Act 8. Okay, we are now starting Act 8. Let's get this going. Our first quest objective is going to be to kill Doedri. That area has a lot of chaos damage in it, so if you have not found an amethyst ring, it might be time to go back to the vendors in the previous acts and see if you can get your hands on 1 or maybe even 2 of these beautiful rings. So I will see you at Doedri. Alright, we're here at Doedri, and of course we have a Bismuth Tornado active, because why the heck not? Put down our Sigil of Power, start precasting. I don't even know where she is. I'll sip on a granite flask, and she's dead. Okay. Let's go into the sewer outlet, grab the waypoint, grab the crafting recipe, and now you can decide which way you want to go. I'm gonna go do the Quay first. There's 2 passive skill points to get in that side of the map. So I will see you at those quests. And he's dead. Alright, rip. Let's go back to town super quick. My inventory is looking a little bit full. And we did find a Sanctified Mana Flask over here, so let's go ahead and put that on instead of our Hollowed. Alright, now that my inventory has been cleared up a little, let's talk to Clarissa. We'll get a Book of Skill for helping her with her quest. Then we can go back to the Quay and then head into the next area where we'll fight the Gemling soldiers for another passive skill point. And we found our first map. Let's go ahead and pick that up. So, if you're brand new and don't know what a map is, maps are Path of Exile's endgame. This is a little tile set that you can roll with your item currency. You can turn this into a rare, a magic item, add modifiers on it, and those modifiers are going to make it harder as well as more rewarding. Alright, and when we do get to the end game, you're also going to get a second passive skill tree, but this one for your maps, and that's going to help you decide what mechanics you want to see in your maps. Okay, so That is the secret sauce of Path of Exile, and if you've never played before, you are in for a treat. Okay, here's the Gemling Legionnaires. Let's kill them real quick. Alright, that is done. I think that was one of our powerful prey quests, actually, so... let's see here. I'm just going to try and do two things once here. Powerful prey. Yep, we just need one more side quest monster for this challenge, and then we'll have another challenge complete. So, that is exciting. Alright, we're back in town to hand in our Gemling Legionnaire quest. So there's another Book of Skill. We are now level 62, we have 4 points to spend, so let's get Heart and Soul. Then we'll get Intelligence, Mana and Spell Damage, and we'll fill out these two nodes over here with our next few levels. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead to the other side of the act, so what is this map called? I don't know, it leads to the bathhouse, so I will see you guys when we do the next quest. Alright, we are now in the bathhouse. There's a few things for us to do here. First off is our first Trial of Ascendancy for the Merciless difficulty. So there's 3 more we need to do before we can do Merciless Lab. Here's a side quest, which I guess you can do if you'd like. I'm just gonna skip it. It gives you passive refund points, but they're a little bit obsolete now that we have Faustus for gold respecs. Here is the Trial of Ascendancy. Let's go pick that up. And there is the Trial of Ascendancy plaque. Let's open it. And you'll see that we have the bathhouse complete. There's 2 more, one in Act 9 and one in Act 10. And then we can do the Merciless Lab before we fight Kitava. The next thing we need to do in this area is make our way to the High Gardens. That's a side area. And there we will fight Yugal and get a passive skill point. So I'll see you guys at Yugal. And there it is, Yugal is dead. Let's pick up this Omen Wand. Nothing very good for our build. He should give us a Book of Skill for killing Yugal. So we have 2 points, level 63. Let's go ahead and get this small node. 20 maximum mana and 10% increased maximum mana. And once again, that's going to be very efficient for our build. We're going to go from 2235 to 2374. Very nice. And then we'll get Prodigal Perfection here, and that'll put us to 2545 total mana pool. Alright, by the time we finish this build, in the end game, we should have at least 10k mana. Very nice indeed. Alright, I'm going to clear up my inventory, and then I'm going to make my way to the final boss, Lunaris. Solaris. And Act 8 is complete. Do a quick slash play to 6 hours, 36 minutes, 15 seconds. I am going to take a break, and I will see you when we start Act 9. Alright, we are now back after a break. We are starting Act 9. You'll notice in the top right-hand corner that the area or monster level is now 61. It's time for us to start looking for rare items to use with the Chaos Recipe. If you don't know what the Chaos Recipe is, collect 1 item from every slot in your equipment, so like, 2 rings, 1 amulet, 1 belt, an armor piece, weapon, so on and so forth. And if you vendor all of them to the any vendor, unidentified, they will give you 2 Chaos Orbs back in return. Okay, and you can only do this for items that are above level 60, so that's why the monster level 61 is an important factor here. So hopefully we can get a few Chaos Recipes done before we finish the campaign. That'll let us purchase some gear going into maps, and that will make mapping and Atlas progression a lot smoother. So I'm gonna go get through the Blood Aqueduct, and I'll see you at the first quest. I don't really remember what it is. It might be we have to go fight Shakira and get a passive skill point. Who knows? I will see you shortly. Okay, minor interruption here. So we've come across the betrayal mechanic in the Vastiri Desert. So I believe you will see this for the very first time at some point in Act 9. What do we have to say about betrayal? Alright, it's gonna be a encounter with unique monsters. Go ahead and kill those unique monsters. And then Jun, the Veiled Master, will show up. Alright, you're going to talk to these guys, and I'm going to just recommend you to execute everybody you come across, and they're going to drop a bunch of random items. Alright, these items will have a icon next to it. and a weird modifier if you look at the list of modifiers. Alright, talk to Jun, and you'll be able to unveil this item and pick what that modifier is. Alright, and when you unveil an item, it gets unlocked for your crafting bench. So this is one way of getting more modifiers to craft via the crafting bench. So I would just recommend that you pick these up and unveil the items as you come across the betrayal mechanic. Alright, there is a lot more depth and strategy to betrayal. I did make a mechanics in minutes video about this mechanic, so check that out if you want to know everything there is to know about betrayal. Otherwise, we will revisit it when we do the Katarina boss fight in endgame maps. And I can tell you more about the mechanic then. Okay, so we are here at the entrance to the next quest. So, to enter that area, we needed to do a little bit of a side encounter, which drops the Stormblade. So we'll turn the Stormblade into Sin, or Pedersen Vanya, one or the other. Right, we also get a rare wand reward here. Let's check this out. This one's completely useless for our build, so I will just vendor it.
Yes.
And, of course, we got the Bottled Storm for turning in whatever that dagger was. Once you have the Bottled Storm, take it back to this little dust storm thing, and it should open, and now you can go fight Shakira. I like big butts and my hips don't lie. I think that's how that song goes. Let's talk to Sin. This will unlock another minor Pantheon Soul of Shakira. You cannot be poisoned while there are at least 3 poisons on you. We don't need to worry about poisons just yet, but you might want to swap there if your Chaos Resists continues to suck as you make it closer towards the endgame. I don't know why I talked to Tsuni over here. If we go all the way back to Irasha, we're going to get a passive skill point for defeating Shakira. And we have a couple of points to spend, actually. So we are level 66. Let's go over here. I think we need to get a Mana Mastery, either this one or that one. It's really up to you. Go ahead and take 10% chance to recover 10% of mana when you use a skill. Right, we're going to be eating through our mana as we stack cast speed, so getting a little bit of mana back whenever you use a skill is going to be a very useful thing. For the next one, I don't know yet. We will look at the Mana Mastery here again, but we might do that later on in the campaign. For now, let's spend these 3 points on Mana Regeneration, Mana and Mana Regeneration, and then Arcane Will, which is going to give you tons of maximum mana. Very nice. Alright, next up, we have to do a couple of progression quests, so I will see you at those quest objectives. Oh, and I think this is another challenge, so this is Boulderback. Let's kill him. And we'll take the Calendar of Fortune, go back to Highgate. So this is in the Foothills map. And who do we turn this into? Pedersen, maybe? Yep, there we go. We'll get some respect points, and you'll see that Powerful Prey has now been complete. So that puts us at 5 out of 40 challenges, 35 more to go. We are here in the Boiling Lake. This is the Basilisk. Stand behind it, or he will freeze you with a Petrifying Graze. And he's dead. We'll pick up the Acid, and let's go check the progress of our Chaos Recipe. So I have the Chaos Recipe going on in this tab over here. Here's a belt, here's another amulet, here's a hat. So I believe we just need 2 rings and a boots to finish our first recipe. Very nice. Right, I'll go back to the foothills and we will keep moving forward. Okay, we are now in the tunnel. So there is a Trial of Ascendancy in this area for us to do, and we got it right at the start, so that's awesome. Let's go do this super quick. We are back with the Flying Sawblade Roombas, so just dodge them, get your way to the end of this area, and don't forget to take the crafting recipe here. It's a nice all attributes rank 2. So, Trial of Ascendancy plaque, let's look at this. We have 2 out of the 3 complete for Merc Lab. The last one will be in Act 10. So we will go and do the remaining quests in Act 9. Okay, we are now in the refinery. There is a secret crafting recipe over here, this little grate. And it leads to the refinery tunnels, and then you can pick up the Trigger a Socketed Spell when you use a skill recipe. Right, this used to come from Betrayal. I used to find it from Unveiling Items. Now you get it in the campaign. That is the cleanest general added skill I've done all league. Let's go ahead and make some room for the Thrathun powder. We're back in the quarry. Let's hand in the Thrathun powder to Sin. That's going to open up this little blockage, and that will lead to the final boss of Act 9. But before we go there, we have a side quest to do in the quarry. That is for a book of skill. So I'm going to go find that side area real quick. I am playing with fire, standing still in this particular boss fight, but that is okay. We survived just fine. Pick up the Sakama feather, and you are now going to make the most important decision in the game. Do you give the feather to Irasha or Tasuni? And rumor has it that mirrors only drop for players who give their feather to Tasuni. Right, obviously I am joking, it doesn't matter who you give the feather to. Giving it to one of them will have no impact on your game, so we'll give it to Arasha in this case, take our Book of Skill, and let's spend some skill points. I believe after getting Arcane Will, we're going to go over here and get Lightning Damage and Cast Speed, and fill out this cluster over here. So let's go into the quarry, and into the belly of the beast, and let's go kill the Trinity, which is the boss for Act 9. And that is the Trinity dead. Do a quick slash played. A nice little map here, and a unique item. Very nice. 7 hours, 14 minutes, 43 seconds. It's time for a break, and then we're going to do the last and final act of the campaign. I'll see you guys then. Hello everybody, and we're back after a break. I did get a little bit bored while I was having some snacks, so we went to King's March and started setting up our city. So I thought I'd record this and show you guys what I did, but a lot of it was just boring running around. So let's very quickly look at the upgrades that we made to our city. We got our town to rank 3. That lets us hire level 3 workers. We have our smelting set up to rank 2. This lets us smelt crimson iron, orichalcum, and amber ore. And we'll run over to the mines real quick. Our mines is rank 3. This lets us mine up till bismuth. And lastly, our farm should also be level 3. Yep, our farm is level 3. Should I get this? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's. Our farm is level 4. And wow, I am all out of gold. Holy crap, okay. So that was all my gold from the entire campaign to get the King's March to this point. Now let's see here, I have 3,800 treasury gold left, so my treasury will empty in about 13 hours. And if we go here, you'll see that all of my workers are at least tier 3. So we've got tier 3 miners, tier 3 farmers, this one has nothing, tier 3 farmers, and tier 3 smelters. So I did pull out all of my farmers before I logged out, just because I didn't have the gold to sustain that. But now that we are about to start playing again, I'm going to put in more miners. Or sorry, more farmers.
Make good use of them. Son, you will make good use of them. Sonya will make good
Okay, everybody has been put in. Our hourly wage is now 8,100, so let's get back into the fray so we can start making some gold, as well as doing the main campaign, of course. You'll notice that I haven't really touched shipping. You don't really need to touch shipping until you have the rest of the town going. That's just my opinion on it. No way, man. Alright. That's 2 divine orbs in the campaign. That is blessed. Alright, we're here at Valencia. So this is for a passive skill point. I think it's the last passive skill point quest in the campaign. Aside from Katava, of course. So let's kill her real quick. Alright, Valencia is down. We can take the portal back to town and get our passive skill point.
Bannon.
And a flask. What should we get here? Let's get a quartz flask and we'll put that in the stash in case we end up using it. I don't have any plans to use it, but you never know. And of course, here's the divine that we found. We'll put it in the divine stash over here. I'm not sure if I'll be using these right away. Alright, the point of this series is to have a realistic approach to progression. And I feel like just starting off with 2 divines right off the bat is a little bit unrealistic, right? Not everyone is that lucky. I sure as heck was not that lucky when I started the league. So, with Valencia done, let's head over to the final Trial of Ascendancy in the campaign. That's going to be in the ossuary, I think. I'll see you guys there. Alright, it's the ossuary. You might also find the Forbidden Archive. Now, I'm going to go in here. This is related to the Sanctum mechanic, which I don't actually know anything about. Let's go to town and see what is going on here. So we got a quest item. It's a Forbidden Tome. We'll turn it into Divinio. Alright, we'll travel to the Forbidden Sanctum. Talk to her, get this relic, put it in the relic altar. Alright, and now we can just forget this mechanic exists. Alright, back to the main questline we go. Alright, here's the final Trial of Ascendancy. Dodge the spikes that will deal chaos damage and slow you down. Pull the lever, do it again on the other side, and I'll see you at the plaque. And there it is! All Trial of Ascendancies complete. We can now do our Merciless Lab and get 2 more points for our Hierophant Ascendancy. There's also a optional side quest here that you can do. I think it gives you passive refund points, so once again, we don't really care about that. And I guess let's go do our Merciless Lab. Alright, we're here at the final fight of Exile. Let's see if we can nuke him. And he's dead. Alright, let's go turn this in. Or we'll open the treasure key, rather. Ooh, a unique belt. Here's our divine font. And of course, we will fish for Ice Nova of Frostbolts once again. Let's do it. We've got... nope. No luck. So I will take the Altar of Ascendancy. That'll give us 2 more points, and we're going to spend that on Mana Regeneration Mana and Sanctuary of Thought. Okay, Sanctuary of Thought is going to give you 20% of your maximum mana as extra energy shield. It's also going to increase your mana reservation efficiency for auras. It doesn't help us too much since our mana is not being reserved at all anyways. And more importantly, it's going to give us a lot of area of effect and 50% less mana cost of skills. So once you grab this... Oh, well, grab that, okay. What we can do is head back to town. We can go to Faustus, or if we don't have enough gold to do the Faustus respec, I think Faustus is in Kingsmarch, actually, so let me go to Kingsmarch. Alright, once you're at Faustus, you can go to respec, and let's see how much this costs. We only have 4k. It's a little bit expensive. And I would rather use this gold on upgrading Kingsmarch right now, so I'm going to just use the passive refund points I had from doing the campaign. So go ahead, take out Amplify and Area of Effect. Alright, you're going to take Intelligence and Intelligence here, and then you're going to unspec out of all of these nodes at the start here. So there's 4 damage nodes. Go ahead and remove those. And that'll give you 7 points at level 69 if you've been saving some points. So we are going to go and take some Energy Shield Leech. So make your way to Energy Shield Leech, and go ahead and take Light Eater. Right, a percentage of our spell damage is now going to be leeched as Energy Shield, and since we took that Templar node, the Hierophant Sanctuary of Thought, we now have a ton of Energy Shield. We have almost 1100 Energy Shield, which is half our life. So between life regeneration, Energy Shield Reach, and damage taken recouped as mana, we're going to have a lot of recovery as long as we're taking damage from hits. Alright, our next point is going to be Leech Mastery. We're going to make some of this Leech instant, so that's what I'll be doing next. And we are now just about ready to go fight Kitava in Act 10 and finish the campaign. So I will see you guys at the next 2 boss battles. And before we do the next boss, it looks like we have enough items here to do 1 chaos recipe, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I'll have,
What do you need?
see Lonnie over here, a chest plate, a 2-handed weapon, gloves, boots, helm, belt, amulet, ring, and there we go, 2 chaos orbs for our trouble. Right, early on, this is how we're going to make our money, and later on we're going to transition into better money makers. Alright, here we are at Avarius. This should be a pretty easy fight for this build. And he's dead. I'll pick up these rares to use for the next chaos recipe, and then all that's left is for us to go kill Kitava. Alright, we're about to fight Kitava. Let's go ahead and spend our skill points real quick. We'll get 10% of Leech is instant. I don't actually know where to spend that last one in this moment. And just like last time, we'll stand right here and see if we can survive Kitava without moving. Okay, I got bumped out of the way, that doesn't count. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay. I just saw the X pattern there. I think we survived it. Or phased them before it connected, I don't know. And there it is. Nice build TM. So we'll do a quick slash blade. 7 hours, 57 minutes, 36 seconds. Not bad. And for doing that, we should have gotten 1 more of our challenges complete. Should be Act Adversaries 2, and we are now 6 out of 40. And that's not it. There's 1 more we can do before we end the episode. Let's type in King's March. I can't believe that worked. Okay. So let's go to King's March, and if we talk to Tujin, we can establish shipping. We're not going to use it, but let's just establish it. And bam! We are now 7 out of 40 challenges complete. What else is there to do? We need to balance our resistances before we can start mapping. Our damage seems fine, our survivability seems fine. I will show you a little slideshow of the gear pieces that I used or finished the campaign with, and then I'll see you for the next episode when we start mapping.